This one is titled, it's been like super, super deleted. I believe it was titled, A Rock and a Hard Place. Hi, Reddit. In a committed long-term relationship with a wonderful human. Met in college. So many lovely adventures and fond memories. Significant other is great. Super supportive of what I do. Loves unconditionally. And would never leave anyone stranded. Stayed with me through some of my lowest lows with my career and mental health. Huge reason as to why we're getting married. Recently encountered someone on a work trip. At the time, I had no thoughts of making a mistake, and there was no situation in which that would have happened. I may have developed a crush. I left it alone and chalked it up to infatuation by proximity. Maybe just some physical urge. Maybe just the circumstance of the trip. But nonetheless, left it alone. It's been 4 months since that trip, and I find myself captivated by my coworker. Sex appeal isn't necessarily a factor here. When we talk, I feel emotionally engaged. I find myself going above and beyond to help with their projects and make active effort to talk to/hear from them. To make it worse, they're in a relationship with a mutual friend of me and my significant other. I haven't said a peep about it to significant other or coworker. I'm still trying to process it. I've never dealt with anyone like this before. Is it even possible to be in love with more than one person at a time? I'm confused, guilty, frustrated, all at the same time. I don't have any ill intent. I don't want to home wreck, and I certainly am not going to act out on impulse. What the hell should I do?
Fuck, what the fuck?
What the fuck? What the fuck? We have an update.
Okay.
Month update. Coworker has said via text that they love me, and I reciprocated. Has also since called me and told me they were thinking of me and wanted to hear my voice. I think it's time to break this off with my significant other, and I don't expect coworker to do the same, nor do I expect to end up with my coworker. But this isn't right or fair for my significant other, and I don't want to string them along if I'm not totally devoted to them.
Yeah.
Wish me luck. And here comes the other side.
Oh, fuck.
My now former fiance, 28 male, came here for advice months ago on his emotional affair and never said a word to me, 28 female. I don't really know what to say about it. We just relocated halfway across the country and I don't know anyone here. I think it's gross that he involved me in his emotional affair, wanted me to be friends with her, asked me to help him put a care package together for her birthday, which is how I knew something was off. He never does stuff like that. We even went away on a couple's weekend with her and her boyfriend in June before we moved. It just feels so slimy. I found their cutesy messages a few weeks ago, and he acknowledged that it was wrong, but denied any connection. Just said that he was struggling and being self-destructive and looking for validation. I stayed because he said this was related to mental health, and he wanted us to try to get to a good place. This morning, I found his Reddit post where he said they've told each other that they love each other, and he was asking advice on how to deal with the guilt of loving us both. He wrote that he was going to end things with me, but he posted that 2 months ago, and he never said anything. That was before I even found the first text. Why not just let me end it when I confronted him about them instead of convincing me to stay and dragging me through all of this? How about before I moved 1,600 miles away? How about before you pursued her at all? I ended it this morning and he didn't argue because he doesn't love me anymore. And I guess I kind of just can't fathom that. I'm not shocked that we weren't in a good place. So much background, I don't know what to include. But I am shocked that he would do something like this to me. We've been together for 8 years.
Oh my God.
And I thought we had a solid friendship underneath it all. I'm going to be okay, and I know I deserve better. I'll end up with someone who loves me the way I deserve. But I wanted that to be him. And I really believed that it was. So how can we be here now? The betrayal I feel, ... I don't know how to describe it. Please tell me someone else has been here. I know I'm not alone, but I think I just need to hear it.
Wow. This was a comment on it, or she reposted it?
She had her own post. It looks like, yeah.
How do we know like that they're related?
It does say, edit, text of his Reddit post can be found in the comments below. Update in the comments as well. So she shared his post in the comments of hers. So it's linked. And she found his account, which makes me think like it wasn't just her finding the post.
Yeah.
She actually like found his account. So that sucks.
Oh my God. That's just like the most like horrific thing ever because it's so hard because it's like, okay, he was trying to do the right thing, right? Like by thinking maybe I'm just going through something and I'm like, but I don't know what's going on. I know I love her. Like it sounds like he was having like a mental like battle with himself, being like, I love this person that I've been with for so long, but why do I keep having these urges? But like, it's just you know what I mean? Like it's so wrong. It's an emotional affair. It's not.
He was definitely tussling with himself.
Yeah.
Also,
what?
I have something.
Okay.
I get like, yeah, he was struggling and really like having a hard time with things, but why would she say I love you if lines like hadn't been crossed? Like, I love you, that's so serious.
Well, that's why I think it was an emotional cheating.
Yeah.
Because
and then he just didn't consider that crossing the line.
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
What?
Weirdly. But I think like because they both had a relationship, what I'm picturing it as is that he was like, I can get to know her and be really close with her and be friends with her because we're both in a relationship. So we're not like doing anything wrong. We're just being friends and we're like a couple's friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then it was like, it got to the point where it was like they were clearly close. There's clearly something going on. And so then that happened. And I think that is honestly worse than physical cheating, and it's hard to like put them next to each other, but like that is insanely painful.
I think it's more intimate.
It's so intimate. Like not
sex
that this
can just be sex,
right?
But there's no
like
arguing.
a one night blacked out sex. Like not saying that that's any less painful. That's like extremely fucking.
It's still an affair.
It's
for the
awful.
person that's being cheated on.
Receiving any of that, like when you're in a relationship where you have this like commitment, like that type of betrayal it's awful. Like I honestly think that, I don't know, hearing stories like that really make me cringe a lot because I just can't imagine the feeling that this person must be having, hearing that the person that she's dedicated 8 years of her life with was doing this to her. Like it kills me to hear that. And so
I can't even imagine.
Can
you imagine finding a post and that's how you find out?
Oh my God.
Like this isn't even, Justin and I have been together for 4 years, about 4 years. It's been over. Yeah. And so for me, this would they were together 8. So even like imagining this now where like I went on Reddit and like find a post like, oh, I'm thinking about cheating and then, I need to break it off. I need to break up with her.
Heartbreaking.
But then he didn't break up with you. He's just been toying you along and moved across the country. I know breaking up with someone is hard.
Right. But you got to be strong enough because like if you actually love and care about that person, which you were with them for 8 years, like I hope to fucking God that you do, then you have to be strong enough. I know it's hard, but like you can't do that to a person. That is so awful. Like, and
I don't think he loved her. I'll tell you why.
Why?
The comment here, she stayed with me through some of my lowest lows with my career and mental health. Huge reason as to why we're getting married. I think he liked having his emotional support. It was comfort. Even, like she's great. She's supportive of what I do, loves unconditionally, and would never leave anyone stranded. But nowhere in this, like even the first line, in a committed long-term relationship with a wonderful human, met in college, so many lovely adventures and fond memories. There's no mention of love here. I love her. I care so deeply for her. I don't want to hurt her, but God, this coworker, I don't know. Like there's no mention of any feelings in regards to her.
Yeah.
It's all like, and I know a lot of times
and he truly probably thought he was doing like the right thing.
Yeah.
You know?
And I know like we do describe people based on how they make us feel. Like that's a very
Yeah,
common
absolutely.
thing. But at the same time, like no mention of love.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing there except like she puffs me up and I recognize she's a good person. And that's a big part of why we're getting married. I would hope that's not the reason someone wants to marry me. Where's the love?
Yeah.
Where's the love? A lot of comments from OP on the original. I'm reading off of Best of Redditor updates. Agreed. Her boyfriend is a friend of my ex-fiance, which makes it that much worse. I took screenshots of the Reddit post and told him that he needs to come clean or I'll tell the guy myself. He hemmed and hawed and tried to worm his way out of it. He just deleted the text conversation with her instead, which just shows he's not remorseful. He just doesn't want consequences. If he doesn't do it tonight, when he gets home from work, I will. I suspect he contacted her to delete her stuff as well, but I think the Reddit post is damning enough. Edit 2. For those who want to see his original post, I did include the link earlier, but then people were going there and commenting, which like, girl, I hear you. And I'm just not trying to make this even more difficult, so I pulled it. Update. He did message the friend and come clean. I did feel he played it down a little bit. My significant other felt this and my significant other felt I should message you, etc., etc. As if this was because I reacted poorly rather than them having this flirtation or whatever. He did not send the Reddit post at first, but did afterwards when I insisted. The girl's boyfriend said it was no big deal. So,
God
hey,
damn it.
whatever,
I hate guys sometimes.
whatever floats their boat.
I fucking hate how casual some men can act, capital, underline act.
Italicized.
No big deal.
Strike through.
I don't care. No, honestly, there are some, like, I know some guys where, like, I mean, and girls too, but like specifically, I've met a couple of guys that are calling, I don't know what anxiety is.
Just golden retrievers.
Yeah.
We had a big blow up, said some mean things, and he went outside to call his family and cool off. When he came back, he sat down and apologized, and I actually believed it was sincere.
We both made the same face at the same time. I need to watch that back on the camera. Because I just like dozed off and did that. And then I looked up at you and you're doing the same thing as me.
I don't believe that at all.
Yeah, what? I don't know how she's...
Also, who goes outside and calls their family in the middle of a big fight with their significant other? Go for a walk, maybe read the news. But hey, I don't know. Teach their own. Whatever. I think he's lying. We're over, but we cried and mourned the life we would have had together. You may think me weak for that, but I really needed the only other person in the world who could feel the life we were supposed to have, say goodbye to it with me.
100%.
Yeah.
I don't think that's weak at all.
No.
I literally...
You have to mourn.
Absolutely. And
8 years?
yeah, and to be able to do it...
Engaged?
And to do it with somebody that... The only person who understands as much as you do, or possibly as much as you do, like, yeah, of course that makes sense.
Yeah. The angry part of me feels like to be unloved by the person I love, cheating, the whole thing is my worst nightmare, and he knows it. I've always told him cheating is a deal breaker. It's harder in practice. And, quote, I can't make you love me makes me cry every time. And I think he wasn't brave enough to break up when he wanted to, so he concocted this horrible, cruel, backstabbing nightmare to make me do the dirty work of the breakup while he got some cheap validation. He trickled truth the whole time. It took multiple confrontations with irrefutable evidence to get him to acknowledge any of it. And he didn't even care enough to stop talking to her afterwards. He wanted to sweep it all under the rug and was annoyed at me when I expected him to tell the truth to me and the girl's significant other. But I'm at a point now where the anger is tired and all that's left is heartbreak. The weaker part of me feels like he is struggling with his mental health and he wonders if it's not that he doesn't love me anymore, but he's just pushing me away. I know you'll think that's just an excuse, which is fair, and maybe I'm blindsided by wanting that to be true so fucking badly. He is going to be seeking help, and I can't stop myself from thinking, oh, well, what if he gets better and turns out this was temporary insanity and he'll treat me like he used to before all this. In 8 years, he's never done anything even close to this. He doesn't even look at other women. Didn't is a better word, I guess. But I feel like this has just smashed me. So even if there was a miraculous resurrection of an earlier time, I don't know if I could ever trust who he's messaging or what he's deleting.
Yeah.
I think we'll still be living together for a while, but I'm just going to do my best to live my own life. I do hope he gets better, and I want him to have a good life. The idea of never seeing him again just burns me up inside. The idea feels unnatural. Maybe it'll feel less unnatural tomorrow or the next day. If you're still here, thank you for reading my ramblings. I don't feel as strong as I did earlier, but your comments and DMs have bolstered me. I read every single one of your stories, and while I'm sad that so many of us have been in this boat, I'm glad we're paddling together.
Oh,
That's so sad.
oh God. Heartbreak is treacherous.
I think she said it all in that.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say. I think living together will be hard, but just time to heal.
Yeah.